Hello and welcome. What you are about to hear is an excerpt from an oral history interview collected by the Octavia Phelan Public Library as part of its Our Stories, Our Community project. The full interview this excerpt is taken from is available on CD at the Octavia Phelan Public Library main branch.
I'm Marcos Chavez, age 36. Today's date is February 12th, 2015. We're at the Gallup Children's Library, and this is my friend.
Thank you, Marco. My name is Barbara Stanley. I'm 77 years old. Today's date is February 12th, 2015. We're at the Octavia Phelan Children's Library in downtown Gallup, and Marco is my friend.
So, Barbara, tell me, where were you born?
I was born in Kanawha, Iowa, in a barn. That's exciting, wasn't it? I got here a month early.
Oh, no.
So my grandfather was having electricity put into a farmhouse, and instead of July the 15th, I got here on June the 15th, which meant we were still in the grain room. And people that feel sorry for people in a barn, a grain room is hardwood floors on the walls, the ceilings, everywhere. They're beautiful rooms to keep the seed grain good. Uh-huh. But so when people used to yell at me when I was a child, "Were you born in a barn?" I could say yes. That's why I leave the doors open, that kind of thing. But that had very little to do with Gallup. I was born on that farm. It was called the Lone Tree Farm, and then started school there when I was about 5. But we did move around because my dad was on the railroad, and I don't know that people remember, but railroaders had deferred employment during the Second World War. They were one of the critical areas that they felt needed to keep the trains running. Mm-hmm. And so he was a railroader and worked the rails for all those years. So we had moved to Winslow, and we had moved back to Iowa, and then we moved here and to Gallup, New Mexico. We'd been here about 2 weeks, and he left us. And my mother was about 8 months pregnant, and we had not been in this apartment but about 3 days. We had lived in a hotel till he found a place for us to live. And so there was no food, and there was not much of anything else either there. What
year was this?
It was about 1943. Uh-huh. I was just 6, and so it was still wartime, and we didn't know anybody. And my mother, in today's world, why we would have emailed or tweeted or something, right? Or picked up the phone and called. Well, in that little town in Iowa that was near Kanawha, that was near the farm, there was a general store. And one of the things that if you lived somewhere else, you called the general store owner, told him what time you were going to call and who you wanted to talk to. And then he would make arrangements for the family to be at the store when you called.
Wow.
Yeah. So it was a little more involved than just picking up the phone. Mm-hmm. And I think my mother was embarrassed, so she really didn't want to call them and say that she had no money, nothing. So he had been gone for about 2 days. And I think we had some dry cereal because my little brother was about 2. And he and I ate dry cereal for a couple of days. And then I just thought, I'm really getting hungry. Mm-hmm. And Mother just sat in front of the water heater and cried and smoked. And so I took my brother, and we walked across the street to what at that time was California Market. Mm-hmm. It was a very tiny little California Market because it's the building where Jerry's Cafe is now.
Okay, on Cole.
On Cole Avenue, and it was the little Jerry's Cafe. There is another building that was the first California supermarket, which is on the corner of Cole and 4th Street. Mm. But that's now, I think they do trailers and that kind of thing.
Yeah, I think you're right.
But I don't know what that. But this little tiny store.
The Octavia Phelan Public Library is committed to providing open and wide access to information. please visit one of our branches in Gallup, New Mexico. The music used in this podcast was Enigmatic by Ben Sound, available at www.bensound.com. Thank you for listening to this oral history. This is John Fortunato for the Octavia Film Public Library.